You ever get that feeling that someone's smile doesn't match their words? Like something about their energy feels off, but you can't quite put your finger on it? We've all been there, trusting too fast, opening up too soon, only to realize their intentions were never what they seemed. Here's the truth. People reveal themselves all the time. You just need to know how to look. The Stoics understood this better than anyone. They believed that a person's true nature can't be hidden. It only needs the right questions to bring it to the surface. And in this video, we're not just talking about psychology tricks or manipulation tactics. No, we're going straight into timeless Stoic wisdom. Because once you understand these 5 questions, you'll start seeing people for who they really are, not who they pretend to be. Stay with me. This might just change the way you read every person in your life from this moment on. Chapter 1. The Stoic Case for Questions. Why 5 will reveal a person's heart. You ever meet someone and their words are warm, but their actions feel cold? Like a smile that belongs to a mask. That moment leaves a knot in your chest. You want to trust, but there's a whisper telling you to look closer. Here's the thing. People show you who they are. Not just with big moments, but with small ones. The Stoics knew this. They didn't wait for drama. They watched behavior. They asked quiet, sharp questions and let answers and silences do the work. Imagine this. 2 friends. Same laugh, same coffee habit. One day, one friend borrows money and promises to pay next week. Next week comes. No call. A month later, no word. Then a short, polite message when that friend needs something again. Which friend did you just meet? The one who keeps their word, or the one who keeps a ledger in their favor? Most people chase the grand reveal. We want fireworks. But real truth lives in small things. In the forgotten call. In the offhand comment. In the way a person treats a waiter, or what they say when they think no one will hear. Stoics believe character shows itself in tiny, repeated acts. And questions are the easiest way to uncover that pattern. Why questions? Because answers are actions in waiting. A question gives someone a chance to show more than their image. The way they answer, the speed, the tone, the things they dodge, all of it paints a picture of what they value. Not just what they say they want, but what they actually prefer when choices matter. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years back, I had a partner on a project. Brilliant on paper. Talked about teamwork, loyalty, shared vision. In meetings, they spoke for everyone. Outside meetings, they vanished. Deadlines passed. When confronted, the tone shifted. Excuses, then blame, then silence. When praise went around, they stood tall. When trouble hit, they shrank from the work. At first, I tried to justify. Maybe busy, maybe stressed. I wanted to believe them. But then I started asking small things. Not big confrontations. Little questions. Can you take this one task? Will you be ready by Friday? How do you want me to handle this client? Each answer came back with a shape. Some were sharp and steady. Some were vague and distant. The pattern formed like a cheap painting left in rain. The person I thought I knew was different from who showed up when cost and risk came into play. That's what questions do. They reveal cost. They show what someone will do when it's not easy or flattering. And 5 well-chosen questions can pull that pattern into plain sight. Not because questions are clever tricks, because they let life do the talking. Stoics taught us to separate appearance from reality. A man may say he values honor, but when the test comes, when a lie is easier or a shortcut is profitable, what does he choose? Questions are the test. They create small, real moments where intention must show itself. There's power in limiting the number 2. 5 isn't random. Too few and you can be fooled by a single performance. Too many and you look interrogative, desperate, or paranoid. 5 gives you balance. It's enough to see a pattern. It's few enough to feel natural. 5 questions, asked wisely, let you watch consistency. And consistency is what builds truth. Here's a smaller truth. Questions are for you, not them. You are not an investigator hunting proof. You are a guardian of your peace. Questions help you decide whether to invest energy, time, or trust. They keep you from wasting yourself on people who ask only to take. So what will this chapter give you? Not a lecture, not a rule book. I'll show you how to think like someone who spots pattern makers. how to tune your ears to the little cracks where intention leaks. I'll teach you to ask without sounding suspicious, to gather truth without making enemies, to use 5 questions like a compass, quiet, steady, honest. Think of this as training, not to trap people, but to protect yourself, not to punish, but to see clearly. The goal isn't to become cynical. The goal is to be wise enough to keep your inner life safe. Before we move on, remember this: people will always try to show you who they want you to see. Your job is to notice who they actually are when the curtain falls. If this chapter sparks something, if you're already thinking of a person who just made sense as I spoke, drop a quick word in the comments. Tell me one small moment that told you everything. I read them, and your story might help someone else see clearer too. And hey, if you want more of this, hit like and subscribe. We're just getting started. The next chapters will give you the exact 5 questions, how to ask them, and what each answer really means. Stay with me. This is the kind of knowledge that keeps you free. Chapter 2, Question 1. Who are you when no one's watching? Consistency is character. The fastest way to see someone's real self is simple. Stop listening to their speeches and watch what they do when no one is clapping. I once worked with a guy named Joel. On paper, he was perfect, charming, full of ideas, first to speak up in meetings. He sounded like the kind of person you'd build things with. Then one week in the office had a small crisis. A teammate was sick and a deadline landed on a Saturday. I sent out a quick message asking if anyone could cover a few hours. Joel liked the message and said he'd handle it. When the time came, he didn't show. No call, no message. Later, when the team got praise, Joel was quick to stand next to the spotlight. When things got hard, he stayed hidden. That moment told me more than every smooth sentence Joel had ever said. It told me what he values when it costs him nothing and what he values when it does. That's the power of this question. It's not meant to be dramatic. It's a quiet test. People reveal their priorities in small, private choices long before they reveal them on stage. Stoic thinkers taught that virtue is not a banner you raise once. It's a habit you keep in every small moment. Consistency is the fingerprint of character. So how do you use this without becoming suspicious or rude? Here's the honest, simple way. First, watch the tiny promises. The coffee they said they'd bring. The text they promised to send. The small favor they agreed to do. Most people fail at the small stuff first. If someone regularly lets little things slip, bigger slips will follow. Second, notice how they treat those who can't give them anything. The barista, the cleaning staff, the intern. That's where intentions show their color. If respect stops where benefit begins, it's not respect, it's a performance. Third, try small real tests, not traps. Ask for a tiny favor that costs little but matters. Can you pick up this call? Can you cover this hour? Watch the reply and the follow-through. The answer matters, but the follow-through is the proof. Now what to listen for in answers. 3 quick patterns to keep in your head. Steady yes, then action. They agree and they do it, even when it's inconvenient. That's integrity. Invest in these people. Soft promises, vague timelines. Sure, maybe, or I'll try. This shows hesitation and low commitment. Give them small responsibilities, not big ones. Avoidance or blame when called out. If a simple follow-up turns into excuses or shifting guilt, that's a red flag. People who dodge small costs will dodge big ones. Important, don't treat one slip as a verdict. People mess up. Watch for the pattern. Stoics looked for repetition. Character is a pattern, not a single act. There's another quiet truth. Asking this question helps you, not punish others. It saves your time, your heart, and your energy. It lets you invest where it matters. That's not cynicism. It's kind, clear-headed self-care. Before we move on, try this tonight. Think of one person you're unsure about. Remember one small promise they kept or broke. That memory will tell you more than you expect. If this hit home, do something small for me. Hit like, subscribe, and drop one short line in the comments. One tiny moment that told you who someone really was. I read them all. Your story could be the one that helps someone else see the truth. Ready for the next question? It gets sharper. Stay close. Chapter 3, Question 2. What do you say about others? Gossip, loyalty, and motive. There's one easy way to read a person's map of the world. Listen to how they talk about people who are not in the room. I remember a lunch with a new friend, Clara. We were laughing, swapping stories. Then a name came up, a mutual acquaintance who'd made a tiny mistake. Clara smiled and launched into a long, juicy story that painted that person as careless, selfish, and funny in a mean way. She changed the tone of the whole table. Everyone leaned in. I felt the air thin. A week later, that same acquaintance did Clara a favor. They covered for her when she missed a deadline. When Clara got the chance to return the favor, she shrugged. "Oh, I don't owe them," she said, like it was obvious. That lunch, her words had been a show. Her actions later were the real thing. Her words about others had already told me who she would be when it mattered. Here's the truth. The way someone speaks about others is a mirror. It shows their wounds, their envies, and what they value. Stoic teachers said character is revealed in habits. Speech is a habit. Gossip, praise, or silence about others are habits that reveal intention. Why this matters? A person who paints others as small is often trying to make themselves look larger. A person who defends absent people shows loyalty and strength. Both choices are actions. Both choices tell you where trust is safe and where it is not. So how do you use this without becoming a detective or doing something rude? Keep it simple. First, notice targets. Who do they talk about? People above them, people below them, or the powerless? If they regularly criticize those who can't fight back, interns, waiters, exes, that's a sign. Respect that ends where benefit ends. Second, watch the tone. Are they laughing kindly? Or are they leaning in, eyes bright, relishing details? Joy at someone's pain is a big red flag. Kind criticism that looks for truth is different from gossip that looks for audience and amusement. Third, look for consistency. Do they say one thing in public and something else in private? Some people flatter in front of you and trash in private. That split shows how much they perform for approval. Here are 3 small, safe ways to test this in real life. Share a short, positive story about someone who is not there. Watch the reaction. Do they add to it? Or do they cut it down with a quick put down? Mention a neutral fact about a person and ask what they think. The response will show whether they try to help you see nuance or they hunt for drama. Notice how they respond when someone is praised. Do they celebrate? Or do they pivot to the person's flaws? Now some quick patterns to remember. People who consistently lift others are trustworthy. They will lift you too. People who enjoy telling negative stories about others will enjoy telling them about you. Guard your private life. Excuses and rationalizations for tearing someone down are not moral courage. They are avoidance wrapped in moral language. Let me tell you a small example that saved me time and heart. I once considered hiring a candidate who had glowing resumes and a charming manager's reference. Before I moved forward, I asked the manager a few casual questions about how the candidate treated junior team members. The manager answered with vague praise, then slipped in a private joke about how the candidate loves to gossip. That little laugh told me everything. We hired someone else. 6 months later, the gossiping candidate had sabotaged another promotion and spread rumors I'd have had to clean up. That small answer spared us a big mess. This question is not about becoming cynical. It's about being wise. People who habitually belittle others are not safe places for your trust. People who defend the absent and speak truth kindly are. So practice this quietly. Notice. Take notes in your mind. Use what you hear as a compass for where to put your time and heart. If this chapter landed for you, do one small thing. Like this video and subscribe. It helps others find the truth. Then drop one short line in the comments. A single moment when someone's words changed how you saw them. I read every one. Your line might help someone else decide where to trust. Stay with me. The next question peels back how people act when everything goes wrong. That one gets raw. Chapter 4, Question 3. How do you behave when plans collapse? Intention in adversity. There's a strange, honest thing about hard moments. They show the truth faster than any speech ever could. When everything goes right, anyone can look brave. Real character shows up when plans fall apart. That's the moment you see what someone really cares about. Do they step in? Do they run? Do they blame? Or do they fix what they broke? Picture this. A small team. Big deadline. A key file gets deleted by accident. Panic spreads. Phones ring. People start pointing fingers. One teammate, Maya, doesn't talk. She sits down, opens her laptop, and starts pulling from backups. Another teammate, Eric, yells about who's at fault and demands the manager handle it. Maya didn't speak for praise. She just fixed the leak. Eric spoke loudly and then walked away when the real work started. That choice, to act or to perform, is everything. Stoics called this the test of action. Virtue isn't a poster. It's the quiet work you do when nobody is watching and when comfort is gone. So how do you spot this in your life? 3 clear things to watch for. First, who takes responsibility? When something breaks, who owns the problem? People who step up without drama are rare. They accept the cost. They don't wait for permission. That shows value. It shows they care more about outcome than image. Second, how they treat stress. Do they stay calm, clear, and useful? Or do they panic and spread fear? Useful calm is a sign of someone who can carry weight. Panic is infectious. It tells you they buckle under pressure. Third, what they do after the dust settles. Do they learn and change? Or do they repeat the same mistakes and forget the pain they caused? Growth after failure is a sign of real character. Repeating the same errors is a red flag. Let me tell you a story that stuck with me. I was part of a small startup. We launched a feature that crashed for thousands of users. Comments flared. The founder, Rob, made a bold public statement promising fixes. For days, he was all headlines and video calls. Then the engineering lead, Lena, stayed late nights, answering tickets and writing hotfixes. Rob did interviews and then ghosted the bug tracker. Lena fixed it. When things calmed, Rob published another post about leadership. Lena quietly rewrote the process that stopped the crash from happening again. Who would you trust with your product? Who would you trust with your family? The loud promise or the quiet fix? This question shows cost. It shows if someone values reputation over responsibility. It shows if they care more about looking right than doing right. Now, a few practical ways to test this without creating drama. Give a small time-sensitive task that might go wrong. Not to trap, to observe. See who stays and who excuses. Watch how they react when a plan changes suddenly. Do they adapt or do they complain? Adaptation is a skill. Complaints are signals. Ask about past failures. People who own their mistakes will tell you what they learned. People who hide will shift blame or speak in generalities. Quick patterns that matter. People who accept responsibility quickly are trustworthy. They own cost. People who perform loudly in crisis but do little afterward are often chasing image. They want applause, not work. People who learn from failure are rare and valuable. Keep them close. A warning, don't confuse fear with bad intent. Some people freeze because they're scared, not because they're selfish. Give space for honest fear. But watch what they do after fear passes. Do they return and help? Or do they stay away? Also remember, consistency matters. One good deed in a crisis is not proof of character. One loud speech is not proof either. Look for patterns over time. Here's a short exercise. Think of someone you rely on. Imagine a sudden, tough moment, an accident, a lost job, a failed plan. Picture them in that moment. Do they step toward the problem or away from it? That image often tells the truth before words do. If this chapter hit you, do one quick thing for me. Smash that like button, subscribe, and drop one short line below. Tell us about someone who showed real character when plans broke. No long story, just one sentence. I read them all. Your line might help someone else trust their instincts. Stay with me. The next chapter digs into expectations, what people quietly want from you, and why that matters more than they say. This one will change how you set boundaries. Chapter 5, Question 4. What do you expect from me? Reciprocity, boundaries, hidden agendas. People reveal themselves not only by what they do, but by what they expect from you. That expectation, spoken or quiet, is a map of motive. It shows whether they want a friend, a favor, an audience, or a meal ticket. Ask this question and you see the ledger behind their kindness. Picture a simple scene. A neighbor knocks and asks to use your ladder. You lend it. A week later, they borrow your drill. You lend it. Then they start showing up with problems, small and then bigger. They invite themselves to dinner. They call late at night. They start to ask for favors with a calm since they are entitled. At first you felt good helping. Later you feel tired. That shift in feeling is the moment the expectation shows its face. The person thought they had earned the right to more than they actually had. Stoics taught that every relationship has an exchange. Some exchanges are monetary. Some are emotional. The wise person watches the balance. Reciprocity is not math. It is respect. If one side gives and the other only takes, the relationship corrodes. Asking, "What do you expect from me?" helps you see whether the relationship is fair or a slow drain. Here's why this question matters so much. People sometimes don't tell you what they want. They imply it. They set up patterns. They act like a favor now is a down payment on loyalty forever, or they promise support only when it costs nothing. The difference is subtle. The cost is the reveal. So how do you use this question without sounding cold or transactional? Use curiosity, not accusation. Say small things that surface the expectation. For example, how would you like me to help with that? Do you need this once, or is it ongoing? If I help, what would you want me to expect in return? These sound simple. They are. They also force clarity. They keep the ledger visible without making it a fight. Let me tell you a short story. A friend, Sam, kept asking for help with his side business. He wanted branding advice, calls with clients, introductions. I helped a few times. Each time he thanked me, but then expected more. One day, he started assuming I'd promote his product to my audience. I hadn't agreed. He acted like it was owed. I said, "I can't do that right now. I thought this was one-time help." He was surprised, not because I refused, but because he had assumed my help bought future favors. That moment taught me something important. Good people ask. People with hidden agendas assume. The line between asking and assuming is the difference between respect and entitlement. Here's how to read expectations in real time. Watch for these signs. Frequent requests with increasing cost. Small asks turn into big ones. That's a slow creep of expectation. Language that frames favors as promises. "You owe me," or "you said you'd help," when you never agreed to ongoing help. Emotional weight attached to asks. If they guilt you when you can't give, they treat your help as a right. On the flip side, watch for good signs. Clear requests with respect for your answer. They say what they want and accept no as an answer. Offers to reciprocate. They ask and then propose what they will give back. Acknowledgement of cost. They know help costs you time or money, and they count that as part of the exchange. A few quick, practical tests you can do without drama. When someone asks, name the cost out loud. "I can help for an hour on Saturday." See if they accept that limit. If they push, you see the boundary problem. Offer a small return. "I'll help, and next time I'd love if you could do X." If they agree, reciprocity exists. If they act surprised, they may expect one-way help. Ask about their expectations explicitly for ongoing things. If this continues, how do you see us sharing the work? The answer will reveal plans or assumptions. A caution, some people are poor at asking. They need coaching. That's different from someone who assumes. Give a chance, but also protect your time. Stoics would remind you, your energy is a resource. Spend it on people who respect its value. Now, a truth that often feels harsh. Saying no to someone who expected yes can sting. They may react with anger or sadness. That reaction reveals more than the ask ever could. People who use guilt as leverage will try to punish boundaries. That's a clear sign to step back. Before we close this chapter, remember this. Asking about expectations is an act of care for both of you. It keeps resentment out of relationships. It keeps favors healthy. It keeps you free. If this chapter helped you see a face in your mind, do one sweet thing. Like this video and subscribe. Then drop a one-line comment. One expectation that surprised me was __. Keep it short. I read every line, and your small truth might help someone else set a better boundary. Stick around. The next chapter is about the last and hardest question. Will you act when it costs you? That one shows commitment. Don't miss it. Chapter 6, Question 5. Will you act when it costs you? Promises versus follow-through. Talk is easy. Promises are louder than actions. But the real test is simple. When it costs them something, do they still show up? I learned this the hard way with someone I trusted deeply. We planned a big launch, nights of editing, calls, and a day where everything had to line up. My partner said, "I got this. Don't worry." I believed them. On launch day, servers flooded with messages. People needed answers. I looked to them. Silence. For 2 hours. Then a short text. "Can't make it." Later, they showed up for praise. They loved the thanks. They vanished for the work. That split, promise in public, absence in cost, told me who they were more than any speech ever could. Cost comes in many forms. Time, money, reputation, comfort, risk. A true test asks a person to spend at least one of those for you. The answer reveals what they value more, themselves or the thing you both care about. Stoics would say virtue shows itself in action. A promise is only worth anything if it becomes a deed. Words without cost are just decoration. Real people are the ones who keep promises when it hurts a little. So how do you spot this without being mean or making traps? First, watch follow through. If someone says yes, check what they actually do. Did they show up, or did they find reasons not to? The gap between promise and action is the truth. Second, note the excuse style. Honest slips happen. Good people say, "I'm sorry. I messed up. I'll fix it." What's bad is the long story, the blame shift, or the disappearing act. Those are moves people use to cover when they don't want to pay the cost. Third, watch what they do when the cost is public. Some people will act when others watch. They want the applause. Others act when no one watches. Those are the people you bet on. Here are 3 small, kind ways to test this without drama. Ask for a specific time. "Can you help me Saturday from 2 to 4? A clear yes and a clear time make follow-through easier to see. Ask for one small sacrifice. "I need you to tell the truth to this person, even if it's awkward." See if they choose honesty over ease. Give a short window to act. People who mean it will rearrange a little. People who don't will dodge. Remember, one failure is not a trial. People get sick, lose their job, or panic. Fear is real. The question is what happens after the cost passes. Do they try to make it right? Or do they stay away? A few patterns to lock in your mind. Promises kept under cost equals rare and priceless. Hold those people close. Loud promises, quiet follow-through equals show. They want credit more than duty. Repeated excuses without repair equals a pattern. Walk away slowly. There's one last truth. Asking this question is for your peace, not their judgment. You are protecting your time, your heart, and your work. The Stoics told us to value what we can control. You can't control others. You can control where you invest trust. If this landed with you, do something small and kind. Hit like, subscribe, and leave a one-line comment. Promise kept or promise broken. Just that. I read them all. Your one line might help someone else see the truth earlier. Stay with me. Next, we'll learn to read the silences, the things people don't say that say the most. Don't skip it. Chapter 7. Reading the silences, omissions, hesitations, and what they hide. Silence is loud. The things people do not say often tell you more than a long speech. A pause, a quick change of subject, or a blank stare. Those are signs. They are small cracks where truth leaks out. I remember a meeting with a client. Everything sounded perfect at first. Smiles. Big promises. Then I asked why a past deal had failed. The room went quiet. Someone laughed too soon. A beat passed. The client then talked about the coffee machine. That silence, that little dodge, filled the whole conversation for me. Later, when problems began, the same pattern showed up. They promised to fix. When it was time to explain, the pauses came again. The silence had warned me first. Silences come in a few clear shapes. Learn them. They will save you time. Omission, they just skip a part. You ask a direct question and they move on. Hesitation, a long pause where words should be. Maybe a cough. Maybe a fake laugh. Deflection, they answer something else. They change the topic. Minimal answers, yes. Fine. Sure. No detail. Over-explaining. Too many words to cover a small gap. That flood can hide a hole. What do these mean? Not always the same thing. People can be shy. They can be tired. They can be afraid. But silence is a signal. It asks you to pay attention. Here's how to read it without being rude. First, notice the pattern. One silent moment is not proof. But when omission and hesitation repeat, a picture forms. Patterns beat single scenes. Second, watch the body. Eyes drop. Hands fidget. A smile that doesn't reach the eyes feels thin. Those small moves add weight to silence. They are part of the message. Third, ask a calm follow-up. Use soft language. I noticed you changed the subject earlier. Is there something you don't want to talk about? Or, can you tell me more about that? Simple, gentle, direct. People either clear the air or keep quiet. Either answer tells you something. A few quick tests you can use right away. Rephrase the question. Ask it another way. If the answer shifts, they are avoiding. Give a small safe out. If this is private, I understand. Just tell me if you'd rather not say. Their relief or continued silence matters. Watch what happens next. Do they fix the silence later with honesty? Or does the silence become habit? A warning, do not assume motives from one pause. Culture, anxiety, and stress change how people speak. Be kind first. Be wise next. Stoics taught us to watch impressions, not to be ruled by them. See the silence. Test it gently. Then decide. Here's a tiny exercise. Tonight, think of one silence that stayed with you. Replay it in your head. Was it a pause, a dodge, or a blank answer? Now imagine asking one calm follow-up. What do you think would happen? If this chapter helped you notice things you missed before, do one small thing for me. Hit like and subscribe. Then drop a one-line comment. The silence that told me the truth was ___. Keep it short. I read every one. Your line could help someone else notice what they've been ignoring. Stay close. Next, we learn how to turn those small signs into a clear pattern you can trust. Don't miss it. Chapter 8, Pattern over Incident, weaving small signs into clear evidence. One awkward moment can fool you. A single nice word. A good excuse. But a string of small moments? That rarely lies. Patterns are the map. Incidents are the noise. Think of it like raindrops on a roof. One drop is normal. 3 drops in the same spot mean a leak. People are the same. One missed call can be life. 3 missed calls with the same excuse mean a habit. Let me tell you about Nia. She had a friend, Leo, who always sounded supportive. He texted the right things. He liked the right photos. Then small things started to show. He said he'd help set up Nia's show and arrived late. He promised an intro and never made it. He asked to borrow money and then forgot to return it. Each act alone felt forgivable. Together, they formed a picture. The friendliness was real. The reliability was not. That is the heart of this chapter. We are not hunting for proof. We are watching for rhythm. People reveal their rhythm in small, repeatable moves. Your job is to notice the beat. Here's a simple way to do that without turning into a detective. Step 1. Collect small facts. Keep one private note. Write the date, the action, and one short line. What happened? No drama. Just facts. May 3rd, promised to call, didn't. May 7th, borrowed drill, returned late. Step 2. Count and compare. Patterns show when a behavior repeats. 3 similar slips in a short time often mean a pattern. Less, maybe a glitch. More, it's a trend. Step 3. Weigh the cost. Not all acts are equal. Missing a text is different from stealing trust or breaking a promise that costs you money. Give each entry a simple score. Small, medium, big. The pattern that matters most is repetition of medium or big costs. Step 4. Look for context and counter evidence. Ask, did something explain this? Illness? Stress? One-off crisis? Also watch for evidence that contradicts the pattern. People change. A single honest apology with real repair matters. Don't rush to judge. Step 5. Test gently, then decide. If you're not sure, ask a clear, small question that requires follow-through. Can you cover this call at 3? If the pattern continues, act. If they step up, the pattern might break. A few quick signs that turn small acts into a pattern you can trust. Repetition. Same slip, repeated. Increasing cost. Small asks turn into bigger ones without reciprocation. No repair. They don't try to fix what they broke. Defensive stories instead of owning up. And a quick list of mistakes to avoid. Don't punish one mistake. People mess up. Don't only seek evidence that fits your fear. Look for what disproves your worry. Don't keep a log to resent. Keep a log to protect your time and heart. Here's a tiny practice you can do now. For the next 2 weeks, keep one private note. Jot one line whenever someone lets you down or surprises you with kindness. At the end of 2 weeks, read the lines. Patterns will jump out. You'll suddenly see who leans in and who leans out. Stoics taught us to watch patterns, not be led by one moment. They would say, look, test, and act from reason, not from hurt. That's what this method does. It helps you choose where to invest. If this chapter landed, do one sweet thing for me. Like and subscribe. Then drop one short line in the comments. The pattern that told me the truth was ____. Keep it short. I read every one. Your sentence could be the little leak that helps someone else see the roof before it falls in. Stay with me. The next chapter will show you how to turn those patterns into clear, calm action, without drama, without cruelty, only wise limits. Don't miss it. Chapter 9, Stoic Responses, How to Confront, Protect, and Preserve Your Peace. You finally see the pattern, the pauses, the missed promises, the slow creep of expectation. Now what do? Freeze? Explode? Or something wiser? Stoics teach one thing. Act from what you control. You can't change someone's intent. You can change your response. This chapter is the how. It's calm. It's practical. It keeps your peace. Start with a small breath. Don't confront from hurt. Wait until you can speak steady. The first rule is simple. Facts, not stories. Say what happened, not why it happened. Not how it makes you feel in a long speech. Just the fact. Here are 3 short scripts you can use. Pick one that fits the moment. Neutral factual. I noticed you missed the meeting on Friday. We had agreed you'd join. Can you tell me what happened? Boundary set. I can't cover extra work without notice. If you need help, ask at least 24 hours ahead. Otherwise, I'll have to say no. Repair test. I want to trust you. If you can handle this small task this week, I'll move forward. If not, I'll step back. See how each stays on what you control. You name the act. You ask for clarity. You give a clear next step. No drama. No guilt trips. Now the posture. Speak calm. Use steady words. Look for one short answer. If they give excuses, listen once. If blame starts, mirror back the fact. So you're saying X caused the miss? Then decide. Don't be dragged into long stories. Protecting your peace has layers. First layer, limits. Make small rules for how much you give. Say them kindly. Stick to them. Example, I can help twice a month. Then keep it. Second layer, tests. Ask for tiny follow-throughs. If they do them, trust grows. If they don't, your limit holds. Third layer, distance. If pattern continues, reduce contact. Not drama. Not revenge. Simple low exposure. Less calls. Less help. Less heart. A quick checklist to decide what to do next. Is this a pattern or a one-off? Does the person accept responsibility? Will a clear boundary change the behavior? Is your peace at risk if you stay? If most answers point to harm, step back gently. If they accept and repair, let them prove it. Stoics don't punish. They choose wisely. What not to do. Yell, threaten, beg, or stalk for proof. Those moves waste you. They make the problem about you being right. The goal is clarity and calm. The goal is to keep your life clean. Lastly, forgive when it's real. If someone owns their mistake, fixes it, and changes, reward that honesty. Stoic wisdom is not cold. It rewards courage and repair. If this chapter helped you, do one sweet thing for me. Hit like, subscribe, and drop one short line in the comments. My boundary is ____. Keep it one line. I read every one. Your small line might help someone else protect their peace. Next up, the final chapter. We'll show how to move from questions to a decision you won't regret. Don't miss. Chapter 10, From Questions to Judgment, Setting Boundaries, Deciding, and Letting Go. There is a moment when asking stops. You've watched the pauses. You've counted the slips. You know the pattern. Now the job is simple and hard at the same time. Decide. A friend of mine, Hannah, waited too long. She kept forgiving small things until the small things stacked into a mountain. Every new excuse became easier to accept. One morning, she woke up tired of explaining why she was tired. She made a choice that day. She told the person she loved her, but could not keep carrying the same weight alone. She set one clear limit, and then she breathed. That choice gave her back hours, calm, and a sense she had not felt in years. Deciding is not cruelty. It is clarity. It is an act of care for yourself. Here's a simple, 5-step way to move from questions to a wise decision. Step 1. Gather the facts. Write down the small moments. Dates. Promises kept or broken. No drama. Just facts. This clears your mind. Step 2. Weigh the cost. Ask, how much does this hurt me? Time, money, peace. Give each item a simple value. Small, medium, big. This helps you see what to protect. Step 3. Decide the type of action. There are 3 real choices. Ask for repair, set a boundary, or step away. Repair asks for change. A boundary limits access. Stepping away reduces contact. Pick the one that fits the facts. Step 4. Say it simple. Speak from control. Use facts. Use short lines. Try. I appreciate you, but this pattern is hurting my work. I need to pause our meetings until I see consistent follow-through. Or, I can't lend money anymore. I'm sorry. No drama. No long speeches. Step 5. Let go and check in. Make a small ritual. Write a note and close the notebook. Put the contact on low priority. Stop rerunning the story in your head. Check in after a set time. If the person repairs, welcome them slowly. If not, keep your limit. A few quick truths. You may feel guilt. That is normal. Guilt often pretends to be love. Ask, am I protecting someone or enabling harm? Also know this. Letting go makes space for people who actually show up. If this chapter helped you, do one sweet thing for me. Hit like and subscribe. Then drop one short line in the comments. One thing you decided to let go of. Keep it one sentence. I read every single one. Your line might give someone else the courage to choose peace. When you start asking the right questions, people stop fooling you. You stop chasing words and start reading actions. That's real freedom, the kind the Stoics lived by. So take these 5 questions and use them like a compass. Let them guide who you trust, who you walk with, and who you finally walk away from. If this video opened your eyes, do one thing for me. Hit that like button, share this with someone who needs clarity, and subscribe for more Stoic wisdom that keeps your mind calm and your heart sharp. Remember, truth doesn't hide. You just have to look closely enough to see it.